Four Corners universe. Look how perfectly packed that is. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Four Corners podcast on the Four Corners Network. I am one of your hosts, John Punn, sitting alongside my best friend, my pal, my brother, my plutonic lover, Kris Rex. And what an episode we have tonight for you. Kris Rex, how you feeling tonight? Let me light up.
I'm feeling pretty good. There's again not too much as far as rumors and news to talk about. There's we're gonna pretty much review Raw, AEW Dynamite, and we'll preview SmackDown and AEW's Full Gear, which is gonna air tomorrow.
Yeah.
There's a few big matches on that. I just, I feel we should talk about. We don't really talk too much about
Yeah.
AEW, and I think that's just because of our fucking schedules.
Yeah.
Like I was just
It's hard,
saying.
it's hard for me to get to watch Dynamite and shit like that, but it's just the schedule, like you said.
Yep. But we try to whenever we can, talk about AEW in a lighter way, because I know we have had a lot
Yeah,
of criticisms.
all we talked about though recently was the drama. So
With
now we can
Brooks.
actually talk about their storylines and their show, their card, instead of
Well,
their problems.
Well, I
Like,
feel I feel like they're kind of in this refresh period now, where it's like, okay, now it's like now we can
where's
start
it
paying
gonna go?
attention to what's going on, and
Like, where's it gonna go? Up or down? Up or down?
yeah, 100%. So let's start off with Monday Night Raw. Uh, we started off with a promo from Seth Rollins, which was interrupted by Bobby Lashley. Um, I I really like how they're kind of diversifying the faces now. Like Rollins is a baby face, but
Yep.
he's still cocky. He's still kind of got that heelish in him. So it's a
And I
nice change of pace.
and I like the rebuild of Austin Theory, Triple H style. You
Yeah,
know,
we're gonna
New
get to the
King.
Austin Theory. We're gonna get to
All right,
Austin
all right.
Theory. But another person that we've both been big on lately is how they've been pushing Bobby Lashley.
Yeah.
Um, and then there's this turnbuckle, that turnbuckle spot he does. Oh my god, it's so
I,
devastating. It
I,
looks so perfect.
yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. And I like this new attitude of Bobby Lashley.
Yes, when it shows when you let him be who he wants to be, who he is, it
Yep.
comes off so much better. And that's with a lot of characters. When you just let them add just a little bit of themselves into it,
Yeah,
it doesn't come off like a gimmick.
yeah. I feel they killed the Hurt Business a little too quickly. I
Yeah.
think that's something that should have had more longevity to it.
Oh yeah. I
That
love the Hurt Business. I
that
loved it.
was that was the perfect build of Bobby Lashley, and then just to split them up, I thought was too soon.
Well, it turned into Bobby Lashley versus Mustafa Ali, um, which they've been giving him a lot more TV time. Mustafa Ali, I like it.
I
I've
see
been a
it as,
fan.
I see it as a push for the guy.
Yeah,
They're giving him TV time. They're giving him notable matches and notable people to be in a storyline with. Seth Rollins, Austin Theory, Bobby
Bobby
Lashley.
Lashley.
We all been involved with the past few weeks. So I'm liking it. I'm liking it.
Well, I've been a fan of Mustafa Ali
Yeah,
since
for a long time.
the Cruiserweight Classic,
Yeah,
and he's a great talent that you could kind of use wherever, and they're starting to embrace that. Yes, he's on the losing end, but now he's getting that TV time. He's being featured more, and that's what I like about this.
yeah,
Now
definitely.
we had Tamina versus Mia Yim, and before we get into the match, now Mia Yim had came to back up the OC. Now I thought the direction they were going is she was going to join the OC as the OC's female partner in War Games. I mean
That's it.
that's where it looked like they were headed, and it
No,
just switched up.
yeah, yeah, no. I didn't. I thought they were gonna fight a Survivor Series, but I guess
It
they're
turned into a one-on-one match between AJ and Balor with all of them at ringside. So
yeah. So
I
I guess
mean,
they're dragging out a little bit longer. I
that would
don't
have been a
know.
nice War Games match, though.
No, yeah, but they already figured out the two war games matches were already booked.
Yeah, I know. What I'm saying is, I would have thought it would have been at least a 5-on-5 match or something like,
Yes, a Survivor Series style match is
Yes,
what I'm hoping for. With the guys and one girl each. That would have been dope.
yeah,
That would have been
yeah,
dope. Different type of Survivor Series match. I don't know why they didn't do that. 4-on-4 still. It would have been great to do elimination style. 4-on-4. I would have enjoyed it.
yeah. But I just think it's kind of weak to make it a one-on-one match. Which, yes, AJ Styles and Balor, it's a great match. But to have all of the rest of the stables at ringside as well, you might as well have made it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Mia Yim joins Team Bianca, and
Yeah.
it's like it kind of throws it. It's like, wait,
And
so
Rhea Ripley's on the other team.
she's involved in two different stories at once. That
Mhm.
kind of confuses, because if you miss a week of Raw like I did, you wake up to, wait, Mia Yim on the on Team Bianca, and she's managing the OC, and like, what? Like it kind of blends it, and it causes confusion.
It's a little confusing. A little confusing.
There was not much
But
to the. All right.
I think they tried to settle the confusion by putting Rhea Ripley on Damage Control's team.
But again, it's kind of they're already part of two. Like they're
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
confusing
But
as fuck.
let the girls do their own thing with the girls. I don't know what Triple H's plan is, but I guess we'll find out, right?
I guess so. We'll have to find out next week at Survivor Series. But there was nothing much to the Mia Yim Tamina match. Mia Yim went over.
Of
Uh,
course. Her first match back.
and she's rolling with the OC, and again, this is what it's like. She's blended in these two different stories. Um, the next match we had was Chad Gable and Matt Riddle, which was a really good match.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
they did a shush and bro like shout
Yes.
off with each other. But the crowd seemed to really enjoy that. They're two characters that are technically gifted. They're two wrestlers that are technically gifted, but they're able to pull off these characters. Where it's like sometimes the character overshadows the fact that they're really great technical wrestlers.
Tell me, I love the characters.
I know you do. And I'm happy with Matt Riddle and Chad Gable's characters, but like I said a year ago, I'd like to see a more serious Matt Riddle.
Bro.
I'll smoke to that one. But I'd like to see a more serious Matt Riddle. I like the stoner. There's the stoner character. Where everything's cool, everything's good, nothing stresses him out.
Five
But
years ago, a gimmick like this would have happened, bro.
I'd like to see someone push him to his limits to where he breaks. And he's more of a serious, like,
Yeah, I want to see him have.
like dude's a fucking former MMA fighter in the UFC. Like, bro, you're a badass. Like, let's fucking see that. Not the funny
Yeah,
badass, but the serious fucking
I want
badass.
to see him have that match that makes him amazing.
And I think it should
Yeah,
happen with Randy Orton.
yeah. But his back injury seems to be serious.
Yeah, I've been hearing that.
Yeah,
I'd really hate to hear that. Oh, Randy Orton can't wrestle again.
yeah. From
That
what it
would,
looks,
all the
sucks.
work he's put in.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, that was like one of my favorites since day one too. Even before he joined Evolution.
I loved RTV with
Yeah,
the
yeah,
shoulder.
yeah.
Oh man, I loved it. Yeah.
The shoulder updates every week. I mean, it
Yeah.
was amazing with Randy Orton. So I hope we do get to see him back in the ring sooner than later.
One more little run, and he
Yeah.
can get up the hill.
Like I said, give it one more little run against Matt Riddle. Put Matt Riddle over as a serious character, and you kind of do your job, and you get to put one of your friends over.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, why not? We had another great match next, which was Shelton Benjamin and Dominic Mysterio. Oh, this was really good. The counters between each other. I mean, I think we need to see more of Shelton Benjamin on TV. Like you said, the Hurt Business. kind of killed a lot of TV time for Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin.
But I feel if they would have stood together, dominant to that group, to not today.
Think about Shelton Benjamin in 04, 05 when he was Intercontinental Champ. I mean, the guy hasn't missed a beat in all these years. He's still able to put on top-notch performance.
Put pictures of them 10, 15 years ago. They fucking look the same.
Right?
They had the fountain of youth somewhere.
Yeah, and again, this was a great match. Dominic went over in this match. I like that they're kind of pushing Dominic, and now we're officially away from the Rey Mysterio, which again, I would have loved to see that conclusion. We didn't get it. I did say it was going to happen at Mania.
I write this shit. You heard this shit here first on the Four Corners.
Well, I said it about 2 weeks ago.
It's going to restart at the Royal Rumble in the match.
In the Royal Rumble match. I see that happening. In the Royal Rumble match,
that's where Dominic and Rey is going to kick back off.
I want to see that match, the father versus son match.
Yep, and we're going to get it at Mania. That's why they
think so.
They felt that too long of a drag to the match at Mania. I think that's why they.
And you also get to see Dominic go against fresh opponents, like Shelton Benjamin. You know, like instead of Rey Mysterio every week.
Dominic gets to grow on his own for a couple of months. Yeah. They meet back up in the Rumble.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's what's gonna happen. I think we're gonna predict the whole WrestleMania card by fucking February, bro. Like, Dana Brooke versus Io Sky was the next match. Now Dana Brooke, she's been there for some time, but it seems like she still needs work. There's something missing.
She has to find herself. I still feel that she's lost in her own mind. It's not that she's lost in the shuffle. She's lost in catering. She just hasn't figured out who she is, what she wants to be, and I think that's what's holding her back. In my opinion, I don't know if it's true.
I can kind of see that because she's kind of gotten stale. You know, there's really no real character, no substance.
Like I said, I could be talking out my ass, but that's what I see.
But she's another one that I'd like to see break out. And again, like, look what Mandy Rose did. She went to NXT, did this whole Toxic Attraction, changed her gimmick up and everything. And now it's like all eyes on her. I think
Dana Brooke will take that title from Mandy Rose.
You know what's funny? I was playing 2K22 yesterday, and I was doing my GM, and I got tired of fucking losing fans every week and being number 2. So I just let the computer auto book, and that was the match that they ordered. But Mandy Rose versus Dana Brooke, because I was doing NXT, and I had downloaded the Mandy Rose 2022 mod. So I fucking put that on, and that was the match that the computer came up with. Again, not much to this match.
No.
Io Sky goes over. I like how they're pushing Damage Control. It's 3 girls that singly can get it done on their own. But now it's like you add them all together, and sometimes when you have 3 singles wrestlers in a group, it kind of it doesn't kind of work out. But these 3 girls seem like they have chemistry enough to where it's like, okay, we're 3 singles females that can work together, that can make this work, and they have been making it work. Now we're going to talk a little bit about some Austin Theory.
Austin Theory.
Dude, I think this is the best thing that's happened to him, is getting rid of his selfie gimmick. I think I remember when we had first started this podcast, I had said we need to see Austin Theory lose it all and break as a man to see what he becomes. And boom, I called it. It's happening. He lost the Money in the Bank. He lost everything that made him who he was. And now we have to see who you really are. And I love it. I love it. 3 weeks ago, everybody was fucking, everybody hated him. A week ago, they laughed at him. And this week, everyone loves him because now he's breaking out. He's being himself. Get rid of the overused selfie fucking gimmick, and be serious. Because think about it, this guy was an Evolve champion. I mean, his indie work was so great, and now like I said, you needed to break him down as a man.
Yeah, and I like to see where this is going.
Yeah, it was a good match between him and Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, that was another good match. Yeah.
I would say some pretty solid matches on Raw.
If Cody Rhodes isn't the one winning the Rumble, then I think Austin Theory would be ready.
I don't think yet. I don't think to do that just yet. I don't think to do
You
that
think
just yet. No, not. I'm not saying I don't want to see it happen. Not just yet, because we just took the Money in the Bank. We have to break him. You can't break the guy for a couple months and then give him the big spot at WrestleMania again. No.
Yeah,
Like,
you're right.
I think we need to break him down. Give it about 3, 4, maybe 6 months. I'll say. Give it 6 months to see where he really goes and how far he really breaks out.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
That's a good idea. I like that.
We had.
He needs to get a high profile win at Mania though.
Yeah, I do think so. Last year's Mania was just, it made him look weak.
Mm-hmm.
It really did. And I like I said, we needed to break him. I think Triple H understood that, and he needed to be broken. Damn, we are really good at writing this shit. He needed to be broken down to kind of see where he went from boy to a man now. All right, let's see how you become a man now. You had that spotlight with Vince McMahon. Like Robert said, Daddy's gone. We're gonna fucking break you down now. We're gonna break you down to nothing, and let's see if you are something, or if all you were was, the golden boy, the guy that was given the Money in the Bank. Not that he earned the Money in the Bank, he was given it. Now he's gonna show us, no, I earned that shit. It didn't matter about Vince McMahon. I earned everything. We're gonna see that now.
Yep.
Now we have Baron Corbin versus Akira Tozawa, which I really wasn't.
Wrestling God.
I'm not a big fan of Baron Corbin. I'm not. And that's because he's a good heel. And I'm not, like I said, he's a good heel, and like, not that I don't like him as a talent. I'm saying, like, his character is good, that it makes me not like him. I don't want to see him on TV,
I'm a fan of JBL, so I'm a fan of Baron Corbin.
I like that they're kind of giving this thing with JBL. Baron Corbin got the win over Akira Tozawa. I believe was the rumor is this was Akira Tozawa's last night with WWE, if I'm not mistaken. There was a little rumor going. I'm not sure if that's true, but that's the rumor that was going around. But I think the whole ninja gimmick killed him.
Yeah, and the 24/7 chasing around.
Because he was, again, a great talent in the Cruiserweight Classic. Then they threw this ninja gimmick on him, this stereotypical Japanese ninja gimmick, and it's not 1994. It's not 1994.
You remember him trying to fight Omos?
Again, not much to the match.
No.
But our main event, another banger. Seth Rollins and Finn Balor for the U.S. title. This was a really great match.
I think Seth Rollins needs to be back in the world title hunt again.
Yeah, I think they're slowly getting him there.
Him
and who?
Balor. Finn Balor.
Well, again, Balor never really lost his belt. He got injured.
Yeah. I want to see them step up. Now it's time for Triple H to make things fresh.
Yeah.
And we need a fucking world title on both shows. We do.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a fan of that. I'm a fan of less belts,
But then have on both shows.
Yeah. Well, like when they started the draft, I liked it. When 2002, when
I issue with it.
When the Undisputed Champion was on both shows.
Roman being only on SmackDown, there should be 2 titles. If there's only going to be one, he should have been on both shows. Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, there's so many other people that could have been fighting him for that title.
All right, I agree with you there. I agree with you. He does hold both belts. He should be working talent from both shows.
Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns. Finn Balor and Roman Reigns. All right, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. Baron Corbin and Roman Reigns. There's so many people over there. Damian Priest and Roman Reigns. That would benefit from a title feud.
Yeah.
So many people over there. So
You know, you mentioned somebody that we really haven't seen too much of. Kevin Owens.
He's been injured.
Oh, he's injured. So that's true that he is injured.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And that's why it's not sure if he's going to be involved in the storyline for Survivor Series. Because he is supposed to be the fifth person on the team. You know.
Got you.
It's not sure now.
Okay, all right. Well, again, this was a banger of a match. Both guys really looked good, and I like Balor kind of in his leader role of the Judgment Day.
Yeah, Edge and Roman Reigns.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, you know, it just popped in my head. There's so many feuds that he could have been having over there too.
Yeah, 100%. Now we're gonna talk a little bit about some AEW Dynamite.
Hi.
We opened up with Claudio Castagnoli and Bryan Danielson against Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara, who all four men will be in the Ring of Honor title match at Full Gear. This was a good opener match. Like I said about Sammy Guevara, he's got that "we don't want to see you" heat, and the crowd was chanting "fuck you, Sammy." Like they just don't want to see him now. Yeah, he's got that "we don't want to see you" heat.
For those that were watching AEW, at the same time on Masked Singer, the bride was unmasked as Chris Jericho. So
I didn't think it was gonna last too much longer.
So yes, he was unmasked during the 8 to 9 hour of AEW's Dynamite. So
he was pretty much unmasked while he was wrestling.
No, he was unmasked closer to 9 o'clock. It was the end of the show.
Oh, okay.
So if he was the opener, he was back in the locker room, probably watching.
Then we had a promo from the Acclaimed where they debuted their new music video, which was a diss track against Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee. Now, I'm not a fan of the Acclaimed. I don't really like the Acclaimed, and it's because of the gimmick. I'm not a fan of the rapper gimmick because I feel like it's been done and done cheesily, and it sounds like
after Cena there should have been no more.
Yeah, exactly. Cena did it the best, and I think when Max Caster does it, because he is a good rapper. Like I've heard a lot of his stuff like that he's done himself, like outside of character. But when he's on Dynamite, it sounds like he's like trying, like he's you're trying too hard.
I think it's because he's limited on how far he can go and what he can say. That's what I feel it is. I feel it's the limitations that's placed on him.
Probably, but again, it just sounds like I'm not a fan of the rapper gimmick. It sounds cheesy. But this promo, the rap in this promo that he did, oh my god, I loved it. Me and Brian were sitting here like, yo, this is pretty fucking good. Like, wow. And I like the idea of that's how they should do their promos for their feuds now. Instead of doing promos like wrestlers, make music videos. That's something different. I think they should do that going forward. It's something different to add to TV.
Was it Captain Insano in the music video?
Yes. We had Paul White, formerly known as Big Show, dressed up as his Captain Insano gimmick from the Water Boy. I loved it. It was a nice throwback. You had Daddy Ass in the music video.
I see. How did he break up from his sons?
He turned on them.
I see that because he's the heel. I never seen that.
Yeah, they had a thing with pretty much where it was like a jealousy thing with the Acclaimed and the Gun Club, and then that Billy Gunn started embracing the whole Ass Boys thing, and they didn't like that. So then it was like he started kind of mentoring the Acclaimed more, and and then the Acclaimed. Like after a match or something, he wound up turning on his sons, and the Acclaimed beat the shit out of them. And yeah, that's how he became part of the Acclaimed.
Okay.
That promo led to Swerve Strickland versus Anthony Bowens, which Anthony Bowens got the win over Swerve Strickland. It was a pretty good match. I liked it. A little slow paced, but it was a nice match. Next up, we had Death Triangle versus Top Flight and AR Fox. This match, let me tell you, Top Flight, the shit that these kids pull off, man, it almost makes me not want to wrestle. It really does. Like the shit that they pull off, and it was nice to see AR Fox. Again, I haven't really heard too much about AR Fox in a while. It's nice to see him make an appearance.
Get a contract after the appearance.
Death Triangle won the match after a Black Arrow to AR Fox. Next up, we had Ethan Page versus Bandito. And Bandito took the loss in this one. Ethan Page won with the Outsider's Edge, is what he calls the Ego's Edge. And our main event for the night was Toni Storm versus Anna Jay. This was a nice women's match. I like that they main evented with a women's match.
Yeah.
Toni Storm won with a Texas Cloverleaf. Now, Toni Storm is the interim women's champion.
Didn't they have a promo with Saraya and Britt Baker? Did you miss that?
Yes, no. They did have. I was just going over the matches. They did have a promo with Saraya and Britt Baker. I did like the promo, and I like that this is gonna be. I think this is gonna be a good match on Saturday.
That's like the one of two matches I'm interested in for Saturday, and the main event, of course, Moxley and
MJF. Yeah, well, let's preview Full Gear. Since we're on AEW, on the buy-in, we have the World Championship Eliminator Tournament semifinal match, which is Brian Cage versus Ricky Starks. Now I think Ricky Starks is going to go over in this match because of the way they moved the tournament. They moved the tournament finals to Dynamite due to Starks' injury. So to just the timeline just for someone's injury, I think Ricky Starks is going to get it. And the winner, and if Ricky Starks wins, he'll go on to face Ethan Page in the finals.
Or Brian Cage will go on to face Ethan Page.
Yeah, well, I said if Ricky Starks wins, he'll go on. Yeah. We have a steel cage match between Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. No, not on the buy-in. No.
Oh, so that's the only match on the buy-in.
From what I see here, yes. Luchasaurus versus Jungle Boy in a steel cage match. I think, is this the first steel cage match in AEW?
I'm not sure. No, they have had, because they've had all kinds of crazy matches. They've had to have a steel cage already. It would have been advertised already as the first AEW steel cage match. I'm sure they won.
Well, I think Jungle Boy is going to get his comeuppance in this one. In a steel cage match, nice blow-off match. And I'd like to see Jungle Boy move up the ranks. Jungle Boy's been there since day one. Yep. I'd like to see him kind of.
I want to see both of them move up the ranks.
Yeah. I think they've been here. They need to come here now.
But the tag team is doing great. They've been here as a tag team. They need to go here as solos. Because I don't think they've been mediocre. I think they were great as a tag team. Now, apart, they need to be there. Yeah. And I think they both could do it.
Now, we also have Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal versus Sting and Darby Allin.
2 60-year-old men.
It's going to be what it's going to be. It's mostly going to be probably Darby Allin and Jay Lethal. Sting's old ass is going to want to do something crazy in the match, so we can expect that. And we can expect a guitar shot. So... Yeah.
That sounds about right. You wrote the match.
I wrote the match right there.
Good job, producer.
Now we have the match. One of the matches we've been looking forward to: Dr. Britt Baker versus Saraya, formerly known as Paige, in her return match to pro wrestling. We gave it a clap last week. Let's give it another round of applause for Saraya. And I like the passion in her promos lately, I have to say. You can
Yeah.
see it. She's all this shit built
Ready
up.
for
All this
she
built up. And
just
now
hope she don't go too hard and hurt herself again.
that's
'Cause
what I'm hoping. She's going to want to put on a 5-star performance.
She's itching right now, so I hope she takes it easy.
Yeah, me too. And I hope she gets the win.
Yeah. She better get the win in her first match.
Unless Britt Baker gets her and they start a feud and they I'd like to see that. Maybe give her a nice little long feud to start off.
She still needs to win and maybe attack after the match. I think she still needs to win.
Yeah. I like I said, I think Sarai is going to get the win. Yeah. That's my prediction there. We have the AEW TNT Championship. We have Wardlow versus the Ring of Honor TV champion Samoa Joe versus Powerhouse Hobbs. Now, for the last, year or so, we've been talking about this whole Ring of Honor thing and how, again, they haven't separated it. They haven't.
They haven't done shows, though. They've done one every 3 or 4 months.
They're doing like pay-per-views and that's it, but they don't have their own show to build these They don't have enough time to build a strictly Ring of Honor pay-per-view without AEW.
Having a Ring of Honor titles.
That, again, I want to see. Hopefully, they can get a TV deal to where now it can be strictly Ring of Honor, and they have enough TV time because now you have these two companies that you're building on the same TV show with a limited time, 2 hours, 4 hours every week. Plus what you do on YouTube. You only have a certain amount of time to get all of this talent over.
And think about it, the AEW title is on the line, not the Ring of Honor title.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. They need to do something quick, I think.
I do think it's going to be a great match. I mean, 3 fucking horses like that. You got Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Wardlow.
Yeah. It's going to be a fucking dope match, but they need to do something with Ring of Honor already.
Yeah. I hope so. I've been hearing that they're shopping around for a deal, a TV deal. Hopefully they do get one, whether it's on a streaming service or a network TV. But they need something because I feel the interest in Ring of Honor as a brand is being lost. How can you possibly put on pay-per-views every couple months, every few months, with no build to it, other than the couple minutes that you have on TV? Because that's really what it is when you add it down in 2 hours. How much of the time does Ring of Honor itself get on TV? 5 to 10 minutes.
Exactly, not much.
Maybe 15 if you add in a match. Now we have the AEW TBS Championship. Jade Cargill versus Nyla Rose. I've been a fan of Nyla Rose since she powerbombed me 3 times. With you as my lawyer.
Powerbomb.
But no, I like Nyla Rose. She was kind of gone for a minute, and now she's kind of back in it. She's another day oneer, where she was with AEW since day one. She was a former women's champion, and it kind of like the spotlight died on her. Bring her back into the spotlight, and I am 100% saying that biasly because I've worked with her. She was. I'll tell a little Nyla Rose story of how this happened. I was working for a all-women's promotion called Valkyrie Pro Wrestling, and the promoter came to me and asked if I would like to be a part of it, aside from doing graphics and shit. And I was like, yeah. And he asked how I felt about working with Nyla Rose, and I was like, okay, sure. And he was like, and there's not a lot of guys that would put over female talent. Would you be willing to kind of make her look like a powerhouse and everything like that? And I'm like, 100%. So it didn't last, like the story didn't last too long. Shit happened politically. But it was supposed to lead to a steel cage match between me and her. But the first night, I'm in the crowd and I just come out and invade the show. And I'm just like, no one's coming into my school. And these women that deserve to just be in the kitchen and they should be waiting for me to get home and all this, misogynistic shit, playing your cheap fucking misogynistic heel. And Nyla Rose comes out. And, I talk shit to her. and she power bombs me, and she power bombs me again. The plan was 2 power bombs. And then, I roll out the ring and I'm hearing the crowd go, one more time, one more time. I look at her, she nods, I nod, grabs me, puts me back in the ring. I throw the kill me on it. Boom! Fucking folded me on it. I mean, that led to like you coming in as my lawyer. I mean, it was great times. It was great times, doing a promo across the street from a precinct saying we just got a order of protection against her. Fucking, she shouldn't have put her hands on me, and I was a fan. And like,
you cannot put a hands on a fan. My client was a paying customer. That was so fun. And I remember I had my broken elbow at the time. I was in a sling.
Ruben Rubinowitz.
That was so funny.
Our next match we have on Full Gear is the Ring of Honor World Championship. Chris Jericho, who is the current champion, versus Bryan Danielson versus Claudio Castagnoli versus Sammy Guevara. I think. Yeah, I got it all out. I think if anybody needs to win this, it's either Claudio or Danielson.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
I think we need to keep Ring of Honor like a Ring of Honor thing. Bryan Danielson was a Ring of Honor champion. Claudio Castagnoli, I think, should have got a longer run than to just drop it to Jericho. Yeah. But sure. I'm hoping one of them too. But we also have to factor in the Jericho Appreciation Society getting involved, which I fucking hate that name.
Jericho loves it.
I'm sure he does. And it's when you think about this, it's also 2 tag teams. When you think of 2 stablemates. I mean, 4 stable, like all going at it. Bryan Danielson and Claudio from Blackpool Combat Club. Sammy Guevara and Chris Jericho from the Jericho Appreciation Society. Let's see how that, how that factors in.
Right.
We have the AEW Women's Championship. Toni Storm versus Jamie Hayter. Now, what I'm going to say is something about AEW pay-per-views is too many matches. Too many matches.
Yeah, I was like, when is this card going to end?
Yeah. I just said that to myself as I'm reading that. All Out was like 11 matches. It's like, holy crap. And so we have Toni Storm versus Jamie Hayter. I like Toni Storm as champion. I'm also a fan of Hayter. And I am not a hater of Hayter. I do want to see Jamie Hayter get her shot, though. Again, she's been someone that's kind of been there since the beginning. And she's worked her ass off. I think she needs a run with the World Championship now, with the Women's World Championship. I wouldn't mind if Toni Storm kept it either. I think we do need to see the Toni Storm Thunder Rosa match to see who the real Women's Champion is. I don't know why they're not doing that. What's going on with that? Apparently she was injured or something. I don't know, but I think we do need to see that match. I'd like to see it in the HBK Razor Ramon style, in a ladder match. Who's the real champion?
Word.
I'd like to see that between 2 talents like Toni Storm and Thunder Rosa.
That would be dope.
Yeah. Our next match, the AEW. What?
Main event?
No.
Oh.
There's still 2 more matches until the main event. So we have the AEW World Tag Team Championship, the Acclaimed versus Swerve in Our Glory. I think it's time to put the titles on the Acclaimed.
Yep.
I think it's time. They've been built. They've been kind of like the tag team in AEW besides the Young Bucks and FTR for the longest.
Yeah, they've been the most consistent.
Yeah. They're on every show. And they put on hell of performances. They have charisma. The fan, they're over as fuck with the fans. Put it on them. Put it on them.
It's about time.
The World Trios Championship, Death Triangle versus the returning Elite. Kenny Omega, Young Bucks, return. I think it's a no-brainer. They're going to put the straps on the Elite. Then put them right back on them.
I think it's stupid to do it like that. without any build to it. But that's what's gonna happen.
I was talking to a fan on Twitter they had said that they hate that Death Triangle is being treated like, secondary champions, and what's that?
New champions.
Yeah. And it's like, and I was like, well, they are, because if, what happened at All Out never happened, Death Triangle wouldn't be. So they are stand-in champions, 100%. Would I like to see a longer feud with them and the Young Bucks and Kenny? Yes. But the Young Bucks and Kenny never really lost it, so it's kind of like they never really got their run at all. They never even had one defense.
Yeah. They won it that night of the fight.
Yeah. So, I don't know how this one's gonna go. I think it's a no-brainer that the Elite's gonna win, but again, I'd like to see a long feud with them.
I see CM Punk interfering.
Is they still gonna take another bite? Another one bites the dust.
I've seen Punk and Colt Cabana interfering this.
Our main event, our final match for the evening, Jon Moxley versus MJF. I think we both think it's time. Yeah. MJF.
Yeah.
MJF. He's great at everything he's doing. We know him from FSW, and he's great at playing that character and keeping kayfabe.
Give it to my fellow Jew. Let's go, Jew. I'm rooting for you.
I think MJF, we deserves it now. He kind of got fucked out of that match with CM Punk.
And first Jewish
and his whole well, no, because Diamond Dallas Page is Jewish.
Oh shit, he is?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
There's been a lot of Jew world champions. But I think the whole All Out incident killed MJF's big moment of his return, and leading to that match with CM Punk that everybody wanted to see. We knew it was going to happen, and it just killed it. Now let's see MJF get that moment.
Yeah.
Because I think they were going to put the belt on MJF either way.
That was next anyway for him after CM Punk.
Yep.
Absolutely right.
That concludes our Full Gear preview.
Full Gear.
We're gonna preview SmackDown. Tonight's SmackDown. I'm gonna try to have this up tonight. We're gonna preview tonight's SmackDown. We have a few matches that have already been announced. We have Butch and Sami Zayn going 1-on-1 in a SmackDown World Cup first round match. I'd like to see this match. Gimmicks aside, characters aside. I think there's going to be a good wrestling match. I can't wait to see what they're going to pull off in this.
For sure.
Ricochet and Mustafa Ali in a SmackDown World Cup first round match.
Yeah, Ricochet is actually replacing Rey Mysterio due to an injury.
Yes. Well, no, Mustafa Ali is replacing.
I know somebody's replacing.
Yeah, because Mustafa Ali's on Raw.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
And we don't. Maybe this is like a kind of. Is this going to be a one-off thing for the tournament, or is he going to be on SmackDown?
Matt, if he gets the win, then I think he'll be on SmackDown.
And
I don't see him win. I see Ricochet winning and Mustafa being on Raw.
Now we also have Shotzi taking on Shayna Baszler. I like Shotzi. I think she's, again, missing a little bit of something. She's found herself. She knows what she wants to be. She knows who she is. There's just something missing. She's over with the fans. She crowd likes her.
More in her match with Ronda next week at Survivor Series.
Yeah.
I think we'll see more. Maybe tonight we'll get to see a little bit come out of her. Because this match with Shayna Baszler isn't going to be a walk in the park. Yeah. All right? And with Ronda by Shayna's side now, they got that duo together. We got Shayna Baszler being that beast that she was when she first debuted, So maybe Shotzi will start coming into her own now, because I think she needs to.
Yeah, 100%. Now, are we gonna also see some more interactions between LA Knight and Bray Wyatt? That seems to be where they're going.
Yeah,
Um,
to be the match next week at Survivor Series as well.
I'd like. I'm glad we're finally getting to see Bray Wyatt in the ring.
Yeah, the complaints I guess are getting to Triple H's ears. Eh,
I'd still want to see these reveals for these other characters. I definitely want to see who Mr. Howdy is. I mean, who Uncle Howdy is.
from what I'm hearing, it's going to be Bo Dallas. I don't know if you read that in the dirt sheets.
I've been hearing a lot of different names, man. I really
I
have.
heard Bo is supposed to be the one that's going to play Uncle Howdy. And Eric Rowan is supposed to be involved somehow.
Interesting. Well, I guess maybe Survivor
That's what
Series
I
will.
heard. Let's see if that's how it plays out. That's what I've read. I shouldn't say heard. That's what I've read. Let's see if that plays out. But I can't wait.
Well,
But
maybe at Survivor
Bray is going to
Series.
get his friend tied back. Bray.
Maybe at
So
Survivor Series we'll see one of
something.
these. We'll see one of these reveals. All right. And that's pretty much all we have for you guys today on this
Yes, sir.
episode. If you want to find us on all social media platforms, you can look right above Punn's head at Four Corners Net. That's at Four Corners Net on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and on YouTube. Now, YouTube, we now have our own username.
Ooh.
And so, again, thanks to each and every one of you for tuning in to the Four Corners podcast here on the Four Corners Network. On behalf of me and John Punn, we'd like to tell you, as always, be excellent to each other and keep supporting pro wrestling.